talked about the process. What was this capacity tool that we presented to them? So we went there to present the process of backcasting, or working backwards from a vision of the future. So they had a vision of the future, or they were designing a vision of the future based on their own understanding of design principles based on cradle-to-cradle, so the principles that they created. And they would backcast from the vision, looking at current reality of what they had, so they can move from this point to that point. So what we presented to them was, by using sustainability principles and using this part here, they would have the boundary conditions that, if used with the vision that they had and asked it to backcast, they would have a strong support from a system perspective, as we showed it to them. And they also would have a strong base to make decisions on what points or stepping stones they could make from current reality to the vision that they designed. So by presenting to them the two questions, is that going the right direction? Is that a flexible platform? Is that a return on investment? By using these prioritization questions, they could have a strong planning and decision making. So what's coming first, what's coming next in terms of planning. So that was our approach to them. And this approach was very strong. We asked for feedback for that. And I'll give you two quotes of the feedback that we've got that support that this was very well understood in terms of complementarity and how to use this together with the vision. One of the participants said that backcasting using sustainability principles gives a better overview of alternatives and a strong coherence in planning. So that was one of the inputs. Second input was, and this one is almost, by this input was very strong, it's almost a MSLS alumni. Mirroring both your current reality as well as your vision against the same set of principles can can provide you with a clear action plan. So this was very a strong one coming from after 3.5 hours. So this input gave them that idea, and then we presented that if you are you're backcasting from vision without the sustainability principles, so if you're looking at backcasting vision without sustainability principles, there's a good chance that you're going to solve some problems by creating some other problems, or not really facing and understanding what is the right direction in general, because you lose a little bit of the system's perspective. So this is very important to have, and that's what we show them. On the other hand, if you have sustainability principles but you don't have a vision, and that is, if you backcast from the sustainability principles, you're backcasting from the boundaries, and it's very likely that you're going to work on incremental parts from your current reality to that future. So you're going to look at here as what are you violating in current reality, or what are you doing good that it means just the opposite of violating. And then you're moving based on what you have right now to that point. So it's very important that you backcast from a vision. And backcasting from a vision using sustainability principles, that's what this complementarity is about. So having a vision is strongly important because it stretches strongly the creative tension between what you have right now and where you want to get. And to strike that, it's very important to use design, to design in a way that this stretch is possible. And using two of them, that's what is the power and the validity of putting the two of them together. So this is what we presented and that's what we used. Now we're going to move to 4 insights that we had that is in a way connected to the presentation to the problems of Limburg and some other insights that we had by looking at theoretical framework afterwards. The first insight is backcasting using sustainability principles. So what does that mean? So as you can see in our hypothesis up there, we use backcasting using sustainability principles, and the same thing throughout our paper, because just to make it clear for other people and to ourselves as well, that we're not backcasting from the sustainability principles, but we're backcasting from a vision. That could be backcast from design principles, or principles such as cradle-to-cradle, using sustainability principles as a support to frame it. So that was very interesting for us in terms of giving more clear understanding of that point. Now I'm going to invite my thesis partners for the other ones. Okay?
The second insight that we want to share has to do with the process of the workshop that we held at the province of Limburg. And because we developed a capacity tool, we were watching what was happening within the room while we ran the workshop. And what we noticed was that people had there's a lot of sort of anxiety in working with sustainability and in general. And specifically at this workshop, we took time to frame the systems perspective and introduce the principles and all that. And some of the participants had a really hard time they just wanted to dive right into what they were doing. And some of the feedback we got back had to do with it takes a lot of time to frame sustainability and to get everyone on the same page, and that's important, but that during the process, people, especially people who've been working with sustainable development for a long time, have a hard time slowing down and just looking at the big picture, because they want to be pushing the boundaries, because they feel the urgency of what we're doing and what we're working on. So that was one of our insights, and a way to feed back into improving the tool and the workshop that we delivered.
And the big picture that we're looking at is transition from linear to cyclical. And what we've been looking at, it's a paradigm shift, it's a different way of looking at the world. And we've done it for quite a while in this take, make, waste approach. And now that we understand that we are part of nature and that we're acting within the boundaries of the carrying capacity of nature, it's important to go towards this cyclical approach. And we've been looking into paradigm shifts and what are the key ingredients that you need to have in place. And one of the experts shared with us that if you have a paradigm shift, that there need to be 2 stages need to be in place. And the first one is a metaphorical and a paradigmatic stage. And the second stage that also needs to be in place is a more descriptive and analytical stage. So you need to have both the metaphorical body and the descriptive body. And if you look at cradle-to-cradle and FSSD, you see the metaphorical stage in place and the systematic, descriptive, analytical stage in place. And this was for us a confirmation of the complementary nature again of cradle-to-cradle and FSSD. That's the third insight. And
the last insight that we'd like to share has to do with our case study in the Netherlands as a whole. And what we've seen in the Netherlands is that through embracing the cradle-to-cradle concept, a lot of people in that society have a shared language to talk about sustainability. And it's this language of metaphor, of creativity, and of design. So there's networks forming, and we talked with a lot of people within those networks. And they're all talking with each other as well, with this shared language. And we're seeing the potential to design new systems. To move from linear to cyclical, there will need to be organizations working together in different ways to fill the roles needed to close the loops in the technical metabolism, in the biological metabolism. And what we're seeing is people using that same language to talk amongst each other. And so there's a big potential at a societal level for redesign to happen with this language. And
yeah. So to conclude, what we've done with you during the last half hour is we've presented to you that backcasting, our hypothesis backcasting using sustainability principles is supportive to the implementation of the cradle-to-cradle concept. And look at cradle-to-cradle design, FSSD decision making, and how they complement each other. And when backcasting, having this vision using sustainability principles, that they can be very supportive to each other. We've shared with you the key insights, so now we're more than open to your questions, and then that's what we have to present to you.